Well, hey there. Welcome to another episode of Hiker Homily. Say hi, Max. Oh, good boy. And Mickey's down here too. Where are you, Mickey? Anyway, welcome to another episode of Hiker Homily. And this week, as usual, I hope to make it short, but you never know with me. I know. I want to talk about not really the expense of packing. I already did one video on what a general startup expense is for day hiking. I want to do one for backpacking, maybe eventually one for through hiking, once those are all researched, because I like some of these topics I just kind of wing and I kind of rant about. Other topics I really do research on and things. This one I have personal experience with, and that is using alternate ways to get gear besides doing the old stores. I want to name a whole bunch of stores because I'm not sponsored by any of them, and I'm not pushing any particular stores. But there's all kinds of gear stores out there that you can go to, and they're great. They have great gear, and we'll talk about some of the advantages and disadvantages and stuff. But there are alternate ways to get gear. I've used them a couple of times for some gear. I have friends who have kind of anecdotal stories about some good luck. But that's the big thing right there, is for these kind of stores it really is luck. And I'm talking about things like thrift stores, flea markets, garage sales. If you have the time and the ability to check those kinds of things regularly, and that is one of the caveats of this. They are good sources, or they are good potential sources. Let's put it that way: potential sources for gear and things like that. So some of the advantages and disadvantages. The main advantage, and the reason why I would put it out there, because of what some people have said online about budget and stuff like that, is obviously the prices are going to be good. A thrift store and things, you can get a backpack there for $10, $15. A backpack, a full-on hiking in the Sierras backpack and things like that. Look at this guy. He wants to be a video star. Huh. Want to be a video star? Sleeping bags for $15, $20 and things like that. Now, of course, most of the sleeping bags you're going to find at a thrift store are going to be they're not going to work for backpacking. They're not three-season bags. They're the kind of bags that you get for, home use and car camping and things like that. But that's the thing is you have to kind of stay on top of it. It's one of the downsides of this is it takes a lot of perseverance for thrift stores, garage sales, things. You have to constantly be checking, because just because you went through a thrift store on Saturday at the beginning of the month and didn't find anything does not mean that a week, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, there hasn't been a whole bunch of new stuff come in, and all of a sudden there's, somebody has donated their backpacking gear, and there it is. It's all of a sudden there for you to look through. So that is the thing, is it takes perseverance. It's not one of those, well, I'll kind of look at it, but I know I can always find it online, like I can with these big box stores and things like that. Yeah, with thrift stores and things, it's not like that. You have to actually have the time to go check, and especially things like garage sales and flea markets, you absolutely do not know what's going to be out there. A flea market, let's go see. And there could be absolutely nothing whatsoever, or there could be 4 or 5 different stalls that suddenly have gear because that's what they've gotten a hold of to sell, and things like that. And a garage sale, it's literally whatever that person had that they're trying to get rid of at the time, and things like that. Now, it's not going to be someone like us who is avid into, when I did, one of the catalysts of this video, when I did my last hiker homily with, when I talked about, I'm totally losing my train of thought. I tell you what, this is just how it is. Talked about whether our gear is like actually set, or whether or not, do you go out and get the latest thing because it's new, or do you get the latest thing because it is better than what you've got and you want to replace it, or yeah, that might be better, but I'm doing okay with what I've got, so I'm keeping what I've got. You know, and people run the whole gambit. Some of the answers I was getting back, especially when I put it out on Facebook, was very clear. Everyone does lots of things, but a lot of people tend to keep their gear until it's done with, unless it's a certain thing that they absolutely, oh yes, I need one of these that's lighter and does a better job, and things like that. But quite a few people who said that they don't switch up their gear often, the main reason was budget. They don't have the budget to just keep getting the newest thing, or even if something, that is going to work better, but it's, this many $100, and I don't have this many $100 at the moment to just get it. So what I've got is going to have to do, and that's just how it is. So one alternative to that, and I kind of thought of that, is like, how can some of these people, you can try the thrift stores and things like that. Okay, so again, positive, more than likely doing a thrift store, you're going to get good prices. One of the stories I was going to tell you about, one of the guys in the hiking club that I'm in here in the local area said he was at a thrift store one time, and lo and behold, there's a bear canister. He recognized it right away. It's one of the metal bear canisters that you need like a coin or like a large screwdriver tip to turn the locking things on top of the lid, and it pops open and stuff. So it's not the plastic BV500. It was one of the metal ones. Nice bear canister and things like that. I think it retails for close to $100 in some stores and things like that, or at least it used to, especially back when he was scrounging around. So it's just sitting there on the shelf of this thrift store. It doesn't have a price on it, so he takes it up to the front counter, asks the person at the counter how much it is, and the person asked the other person who was working in the store, hey, how much for this trash can? Because they didn't know what it was. And the other guy, oh, that's $5. So $5 he got this bear canister. Okay? And I think even if they knew it was a bear canister, I don't think the price would have been that much different. Maybe $10. Maybe they would have made it 10. Because that's the whole thing about a thrift store, is it's stuff that they're trying to clear out. It's stuff that they technically got donation-wise, basically for free, and are trying to sell quick. But that is also one of the downsides of a thrift store, garage sale, flea market type of thing, is for the most part the stuff you're getting is used. And so you may have to deal with a few things. You may have to deal with bear canisters or other things that are scratched, and maybe they have some stickers on them. Stuff like that are used. They should still be functional. If you have a reputable thrift store or someone in a flea market who's not just selling junk, you have to watch out for that. It's going to be stuff that is operational. Like, you shouldn't be looking at a tent and it requires 5 poles and 4 of them are broken. Yeah, that's just not worth it, and that shouldn't even be out there for sale. Things like that. But that is one of the drawbacks, is not just that it's used gear, but of course, unlike your regular retail stores, you're not going to have any choices or selection. It's going to be whatever happens to be there that week is there, and that's it. So if you're looking for a backpack, and oh my gosh, look at that, that's a backpack, and this has happened to me before. Oh, that is a really good backpack, but it's just not big enough for me. This is a backpack made for a kid, but it sure is nice. Now, myself, I may pick that up anyway, because that's another thing is these are good sources. If you are the type of person that has family or friends who like to go backpacking with you occasionally, but not so much that they've committed to, spending the money it takes to buy startup gear for backpacking, having spare gear around to loan to them is very helpful. And also, if you're like me, involved in scouting with your kids or something like that, having extra gear like that for the troop, because there's quite a few kids in our Boy Scout troop. They enjoy going backpacking with the troop, but they don't have the money or the family time to do it outside of the troop, and so they don't have any gear and things like that, but they love doing it with the troop. It's a fun time for them. So it's nice that myself, and there's one other troop leader, has extra gear. We're able to loan things out to them so that they're able to join the troop. So that is one good thing, that these are good sources there where you can pick stuff up that not necessarily is for you, but it might be just spare gear, because you never know who you're going to want to loan it out to. So there's that. What do we got now? We got so good prices. Checking my list to make sure I've hit all the little points I wanted to hit. It really is up to chance. Like I said, you're not going to have a selection of all these great sleeping bags, all 15 degree rated or less, just sitting here ready to go. No, it's going to be whatever's there, and that's why it takes perseverance to keep coming back and checking these things. If it really you're really looking for things, and I do. My wife likes a thrift store shop because she does costuming and things like that for plays and other things, and that is a really good way for her to go through the clothing. Oh, this would work really good as if I alter this or take this part off or remove these sleeves, this would work as a such and such costume. So she'll do that kind of thing. And if she can get, because she's working on a budget, the school plays and stuff, hey, this is what we have as a budget for costuming. So she can't go out and just buy all the time super material to make a complete gown. No, I have to buy this gown at the thrift store for $5 to $10 and then alter it with this covering or take this off of it. Now I've got a such and such gown for the princess in the play, stuff like that. So when she goes out, I'll go with her, and I look for things like games that I can sell, because I'm also a vendor at comic shows and things like that. I'll look for that kind of thing, but I'm also always looking for any kind of gear and stuff. Obviously, there's certain types of gear you might not want to get. Like, I don't know if I would buy used shoe wear and things like that. But if I see a backpack that's in decent shape, or a tent that looks like it's fairly simple to set up, and maybe it's got a stain on one wall that just won't come out, but other than that, it's sturdy and it's in all its pieces, and it goes up and it works, all the poles are together and things like that, and it's a good price, $10-15 when it regularly retails for a couple of hundred. There's a good chance I'm going to pick it up, if nothing else, just to have, as I say, as spare gear I can loan to people who just might need it and things like that. So there it is. Just something to think about, that it's a possible source for those of you who are on that budget. And I am by no means, full of just discretionary cash that I can just throw around willy-nilly. There's a few nice pieces of gear I would love to have that I don't think I'll ever find in a thrift store, but I just don't have the $600-700 to drop on it right now. That's going to take me quite a while. Some of the equipment I have now was within my budget only because it took me a year to just save the money up and stuff. So, because my budget requires other things. I've got mortgage payments and family things we do, and son's on a sports team in high school, and that kind of stuff does take priority over the old hobbies. So there we go. Thrift stores, flea markets, garage sales. Possible alternative places to try and find gear. They have their drawbacks, they have their positive points to them. You're going to have to kind of weigh what you think will work for you. But just a suggestion, what do you think? You have any good stories about good finds you've ever found at any of these kinds of places? Or you disagree, you think, it's not even worth it, not worth my time? Any of that kind of stuff, let me know. Comments below, comments when I post this on Patreon. You can get me on Instagram. All of those things are listed under Hiking for Health CA. That's Charlie Alpha CA, stands for California. Or, of course, as always, you can leave a comment on the email, which is hikingforhealthca@gmail.com. And other than that, that's going to take care of it. I got to get back to gardening, finishing up some stuff out here before the heat gets, because it's going to be 90-something degrees today here in Central Valley, California. So I got to get that going here in the morning before I run out of the cool morning. And other than that, we will see you. Oh, and always, almost forgot, but I always like to say thanks for watching, because I do appreciate it. I know my channel is small, so that those of you who do watch, thanks so much. Totally appreciate it. I'll see you next time.